This man spends $2 million a year just to feel 18 again. Crazy, right? But here's the twist. Most of what he does, you and I could copy for almost free. His name is Bryan Johnson. He's a 45-year-old tech billionaire who claims he's reversed his biological age by nearly 10 years. No plastic surgery, no miracle drug, just a strict daily routine built with the help of 30 doctors. But here's the question, does it actually work or is it all hype? Bryan says parts of his body already test like they're decades younger. His diaphragm and lungs functioning like they're 18. His heart acting closer to 37 than 45. Now imagine this, you're 70 but your heart feels more like 45. That's the kind of shift he's chasing. Exciting, right? But also confusing. Can the body really age backwards? Do different organs have different ages? And if that's true, could some of your body parts be older or younger than the age on your birthday cake? That's what Bryan is testing with something he calls Project Blueprint, an open science experiment where he literally treats himself like a lab animal. Every day he swallows over 100 supplements, tracks dozens of biomarkers, and lives by a routine so strict it makes Olympic training look casual. Why? Because he doesn't just want to live longer, he wants to reverse aging itself. His ultimate goal? To create a playbook anyone can follow, to stay younger, healthier, and more energetic for decades. Here's the catch. Right now, it costs him $2 million a year. Yes, you heard that right. $2 million. Just to run these experiments. But here's the part that matters to you. If Bryan's discoveries are real, the price doesn't have to stay that high. In fact, much of what he does has practical versions backed by science. Things you could start today without breaking the bank. So in this video, we'll dig into what Bryan actually does day to day, the surprising science behind his results, and most importantly, how regular people, like you and me, can use the same principles to feel younger, live longer, and do it for almost free. And stay tuned because later I'll share the wild story of a man who literally lived underwater for 3 months and came out 10 years younger. So let's dive in. Here's his mindset. Most of us think of ourselves as one whole person, making choices, good or bad. Bryan doesn't. He sees his body as a team of 78 separate players. Heart, lungs, kidneys, liver. Each one needs different care. Sounds clever, right? But here's the problem. How do you actually know what your organs want? This is where the money comes in. Bryan uses endless blood tests, scans, and custom-built machines to measure everything. Think of it like his body is constantly sending little status reports. Creatinine too high? Kidneys are struggling. Cholesterol climbing? Arteries aging too fast. Inflammation rising? Bodies under silent attack. Most of us wait until something breaks. Bryan checks every dial daily. That's how he spots aging before it shows up as disease. But measurement is only half the story. Once he knows what each player needs, he acts fast. And here's where it gets strict. His daily routine is almost robotic. 8:30 p.m. sharp, lights out, no excuses. 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., all his meals. About 2,250 calories of vegan food. After that, nothing. Several hours a day on mental recovery, meditation, relaxation, and somewhere between 50 to 111 supplement pills. Every single day. Sounds extreme, right? But to him, it's worth it. He even calls himself the most measured man alive. Now let me pause here. You don't need 111 pills or million-dollar machines to borrow the core idea. Bryan's philosophy, stripped down, is this. Listen to your body early. Fix small problems before they become big ones. Support recovery with consistent habits. So the real question becomes, what exactly are those pills he's taking? Are they miracle cures or just expensive vitamins dressed up with hype? Let's peek inside his supplement cabinet. So, what's inside Bryan's pill cabinet? Over 100 different supplements. But don't worry, You don't need anywhere near that many. Let's start with the star, collagen peptides. Collagen is the scaffolding of your body. It's in your skin, bones, muscles, and joints. When you're young, you've got plenty. That's why skin looks smooth and springy. But the catch is, after about 25, collagen production nosedives. That's when wrinkles, sagging skin, and stiff joints sneak in. It's like your favorite t-shirt losing its stretch over the years. So Bryan loads up on collagen to keep tissues younger, inside and out. Studies back it up. Collagen supplements can improve skin glow, elasticity, and even joint comfort, with almost no side effects. But collagen is just the beginning. Bryan divides his supplements into 3 simple buckets. Bucket number 1, cleaners, antioxidants. Think of them like the air filters in your car, catching the gunk before it causes damage. Minus curcumin from turmeric, powerful anti-inflammatory. N-acetylcysteine, NAC, helps your liver clear toxins. Sulforaphane from broccoli sprouts activates the body's detox system. These aren't exotic billionaire pills. They're cheap and widely available. And if you're over 60 and noticing more fatigue, stiffness, or dull skin, adding antioxidants could make you feel noticeably fresher. So that's the cleanup crew. But stopping new damage isn't enough. What about the mess already inside your cells? That's where the repair bucket comes in. Bucket number 2, repair agents. These are like mechanics for your cells, patching up broken parts and boosting energy. Nicotinamide riboside, NR, improves mitochondria, your cell's batteries, and helps DNA repair. Calcium alpha-ketoglutarate, CAAKG, supports muscle recovery and wound healing. Taurine, slows down waste buildup inside cells. Think back to when you were a kid. You scraped your knee and it healed in days. These supplements aim to bring back some of that fast recovery magic, even at 60 or 70. Bucket number 3, joint and hormone helpers. Because what good is a young-looking face if your knees ache or your hormones crash? Hyaluronic acid keeps joints lubricated like oil for rusty hinges. Glucosamine sulfate repairs joint cushioning. Genistein helps clear out zombie cells that refuse to die. DHEA supports hormone balance, especially testosterone, without overdosing. Put all 3 buckets together, cleaners, repair agents, and helpers, and you get a full tune-up kit for the body. Bryan takes 100 plus of these daily. You can get 80% of the benefit with a handful of well-chosen, affordable ones. But here's the big question. Are supplements alone enough to reverse aging? Or just a fancy band-aid? That's where the science gets deeper. Tissue repair versus actual age reversal. Supplements are great for repairing tissues, but does repairing tissues really mean you're reversing aging? Think about it. When you work out, your muscles tear a little, then they rebuild stronger. That's repair, but no one calls that becoming younger. That's the conflict here. Bryan's pills sound impressive, but if they only repair damage, are they really anti-aging or just glorified maintenance? Here's the twist. Repair alone isn't enough. But when you combine repair with lifestyle habits like deep sleep, smart eating, and stress control, you're not just fixing damage, you're changing how your body's instructions work. And that's where the real magic begins. Your genes. Every cell in your body carries the same DNA. So why does one cell become part of your heart and another part of your liver? It's because of gene switches. Scientists call this epigenetics. Think of your DNA like a piano. Every key is there, but epigenetics decides which notes get played. Here's the problem. Modern life messes with those switches. Poor sleep, junk food, chronic stress, they can flip the wrong switches on and the good ones off. The result? Your body acts old, even if your birthday says otherwise. That's why some 35-year-olds already look worn out, while some 60-year-olds look vibrant. It's not just luck. It's epigenetics. In fact, scientists can now measure your epigenetic age using special clocks. One Harvard study in 2023 showed that when they reset epigenetic switches in mice, the animals literally looked and functioned younger. Bryan leans heavily on this science. By combining supplements, a strict lifestyle, and tracking his body's signals, he claims his heart is biologically 37 and his lungs are back to 18. Sounds powerful, right? But even if you perfect your epigenetics, there's still a hard stop your body can't escape. That stop is built into your cells themselves, and it's called the telomere limit.
So here's the big question. If you can repair tissues and reset your genes, why do we still age? The answer lies at the very ends of your DNA, in tiny caps called telomeres. Think of telomeres like the plastic tips on shoelaces. Every time your cells divide, the tips get a little shorter. Once they're gone, the lace frays, and the cell stops dividing. That's your body's built-in countdown clock. Around 60 to 70 divisions, and then, game over. Now here's the scary part. When cells stop dividing, they don't just die quietly. They often turn into zombie cells that sit around, spewing toxic signals, making nearby cells weaker. This process, cellular senescence, is a core reason we wrinkle, weaken, and get diseases with age. So why not just keep telomeres long forever? Well, we kind of can. There's an enzyme called telomerase that rebuilds them. But there's a catch. Telomerase doesn't just keep normal cells young, it also gives cancer cells near infinite life. More telomerase can mean more tumors. It's a double-edged sword. But here's where it gets wild. In 2023, a man named Joseph Dituri spent 93 days living underwater in a pressurized room. When he resurfaced, his telomeres had reportedly lengthened by 20%, and his biological age tested nearly 10 years younger. Did pressure trigger his cells to rejuvenate? Or was it the isolation, the breathing mix, or something else? Scientists don't fully know yet, but it shows the frontier. We may one day learn to extend telomeres safely. For now, telomeres remind us, yes, we can slow aging, even reverse some signs. But immortality? Not yet. So if we can't buy infinite youth, the smart move is this. Squeeze out the maximum healthy years with smart, low-cost habits. And the good news? You don't need Bryan's $2 million routine for that. Practical tips to slow aging without spending much. Bryan Johnson spends over $2 million a year to slow aging, but you don't need to. The same science behind his results can work for you with small, consistent changes. Think of it as building a longevity lifestyle brick by brick. Even if you're over 60, these steps can help you feel younger, stay active, and live longer, without expensive machines or 100 pills a day. The key is to focus on 3 main biological levels. Step 1. Lower body stress and damage, oxidative waste and inflammation. Step 2. Improve how your genes behave, epigenetics. Step 3. Support your cell's lifespan, telomeres. Here's how to do all 3. Most of them free or nearly free. 1. Eat a little less and age a lot slower. Calorie restriction is one of the most powerful, proven anti-aging strategies. Studies from Harvard and Mayo Clinic show that cutting daily calories by 15 to 20% reduces aging markers, improves insulin sensitivity, and slows down cell damage. You don't need to starve. Just reduce portions slightly and stop eating when you're 80% full. Seniors who followed this saw better memory, sharper thinking, and stronger immunity. 2. Embrace time-restricted eating, fasting without suffering. One of Bryan's key habits is strict meal timing. Stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed and aim for a 14 to 16-hour gap between dinner and breakfast. For example, eat breakfast at 9 a.m. and finish dinner by 7 p.m. Fasting triggers autophagy, the body's cleanup mode, recycling damaged cells and slowing internal aging. A 2024 study from the University of Wisconsin found that adults practicing time-restricted eating had younger biological ages by 6 to 8 years compared to those who didn't. 3. Shift to a plant-heavy diet. Even a little bit helps. You don't have to go fully vegan like Bryan. Even replacing 3% of your daily protein from meat with plants can extend life expectancy by up to 5 years, according to a Harvard School of Public Health study. Focus on beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, and tofu. Plants contain polyphenols and flavonoids, which protect DNA from damage and slow cellular aging. They also reduce chronic inflammation, one of the biggest drivers of diseases in older adults. 4. Colorful fruits and vegetables equals natural anti-aging medicine. The brighter the color, the higher the antioxidant power. Blueberries, spinach, turmeric,
pomegranate, and broccoli sprouts fight oxidative stress that makes cells old faster. Rotate colors daily. Eat the rainbow to give your cells a mix of cleaners. Curcumin from turmeric and sulforaphane from broccoli, both used by Bryan, are powerful natural detoxifiers. 5. Prioritize deep sleep and low stress. They reverse epigenetic aging. Lack of sleep and chronic stress change your epigenetic switches, turning on aging pathways. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Go to bed at the same time every night. Practice meditation, breathing exercises, or even simple evening walks to lower cortisol. UCLA researchers found that seniors who practiced mindfulness had slower epigenetic aging by 7 years compared to those who didn't. 6. Move your body. Aerobic exercise keeps cells young. Movement is free and powerful. Just 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity per week, like walking, swimming, or cycling, reduces death risk by 30% and supports telomere length. Exercise boosts blood flow, improves mitochondrial function, your cell's energy engines, and helps flush out waste. Even light daily movement can help joints stay younger and more flexible. 7. Add resistance training, the youth hormone booster. Don't ignore muscles. Strength training 2 to 3 times a week increases growth hormone and testosterone naturally, improves bone density, and enhances insulin sensitivity. It also helps your body clear out senescent, old, useless cells faster. You don't need a gym. Bodyweight exercises like squats, push-ups, or resistance bands work too. 8. Harness natural light and circadian rhythm. Your internal body clock, circadian rhythm, influences hormones, cell repair, and even gene activity. Get 15 to 20 minutes of morning sunlight daily to reset your body clock and boost vitamin D. Dim screens and lights at night to help melatonin rise, a hormone that promotes deep sleep and cellular repair. 9. Consider evidence-backed medications with caution. Only when prescribed by doctors, with caution. Some low-cost, widely used drugs are showing promise in slowing aging. Metformin. Originally for diabetes, it improves insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, and activates longevity pathways, AMPK. A 2025 UCSD study found that older women on metformin had a 30% lower mortality risk. Senolytics. These experimental drugs clear out senescent cells that fuel inflammation and tissue damage. Always consult a doctor, never self-medicate. 10. Stay socially active. Longevity isn't just biology. Humans are wired for connection. Loneliness accelerates biological aging as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Join community activities, volunteer, or simply spend more time with loved ones. A 2023 Stanford study showed that seniors with strong social ties lived 7.5 years longer on average. Bonus tip: track your biomarkers cheaply. Bryan spends millions measuring his body's inner state, but you can track key markers affordably. Blood sugar, cholesterol, inflammation, CRP, and kidney function, creatinine, tests are available in routine checkups. Monitoring them yearly can reveal silent aging signs early and guide you to act before damage sets in. Aging isn't a sudden switch. It's the result of thousands of daily choices. Most of them cost nothing: how much you eat, how you sleep, how you move, and how you manage stress. You don't need $2 million or a team of doctors, just small, consistent habits that compound over time. Start with 1 or 2 tips this week, like finishing dinner early or adding a 20-minute walk, and build from there. Your future self will thank you.